Boo, and I'm back with another perfume review. So when a perfume, I really adore it, and it sets itself apart from the rest of the house, in my opinion, then I'm going to do a single review on it. Most of the time, I'll be doing just perfume house reviews, but a lot of my new discoveries, not so much my older perfumes, but my new discoveries, I'll be doing some more single reviews on, a little more detailed, you know, probably not, because I babble so damn much. So anyway, and this is from Map of the Heart, and this is Purple Heart. Now this one is another slow burner. I'm going to have to do a list of slow burners. I think I've said that before, probably repeating myself. But if I say it often enough, maybe I'll remember to write it down so that I actually do it. Because this is one of those. Unlike Gold Heart, which was instant love for me. Purple Heart, I had to warm up to. At first, it was like, man, I don't know. This is kind of Lolita Lempicka-esque, the original, because I've gone through a couple of bottles of those. And so I wasn't sure about it, but once it started drying down, that's when the two parted ways. They are both very heavy, licorice, and there's some violet in there and some cherries. That is a big part of the similarities. Also some tonka. But this is what I wish Lolita had started as, and the original Lolita had smelled like. And then the Lolita Lempicka that was released in '97, that would be a flanker, if that makes sense. Because usually the flankers are, rarely are they as good as the original, and rarely are they as strong unless they make a special version of it, intense versions or whatever, or, you know, different concentrations. But this is an EDP. And I don't know if the '97 Lolita was an EDP or an EDT, but it performed like an EDP for me. And that was an instant love. The original Lolita was an instant love. And that was beside the fact the bottle is one of the prettiest out there. I loved how different it was. I'd been wearing a lot of perfumes like Angel and, gosh, I can't even remember what all, but I didn't have, I usually wore a signature scent back then, and I was kind of looking for the next best thing. I think Angel was the one that Lolita replaced. And then I wore Lolita for, I don't know, a good 3-4 years. Before then, I think I moved to Flower Bomb, maybe, Victor and Rolf. Anyway, I don't remember. So anyway, this is what I wish the original Lolita Lempicka had smelled like. This is gorgeous. It's ink and cherry and plum, and there's licorice and violet and woody notes and tonka and sandalwood and amber and vanilla and rose. It's beautiful. I'm going to put a little on. I do not have any more Lolita left. My bottles are all empty. So I'll have to be going by memory. Oh. And this starts very much like an intense version of the original Lolita. It's that violet and licorice and slightly sweet, not real sweet at that point, accord that goes on there. It's not a chord, but the mixture of the notes. Right then, that's when the two smell the most alike, is that top. But this one has more bite to it because of that ink. It gives it more of a, almost an industrial smell, if that makes any sense. It's almost as if, you know, the licorice and the violets and the cherries and the plum and the tonka and the woody notes were all put together in a perfume in a very industrial area in a downtown kind of a metropolis. So amazing stuff. But then once it dries down a bit, they start parting ways, Lolita and Purple Heart. And the cherry and the plum come out more, but it's not intensely sweet, but it gives this jammy sweetness to the licorice and the violet and the woody notes and the tonka. And it's almost this jammy compote kind of a smell, but it's really deep in the whole pyramid spectrum at this point for a while. But it starts raising its gorgeous, sweet, juicy head. And then it just, I just love it, love it, love it. It's like a fruitier, moister, almost more gourmand version of Lolita Lampica without being too sweet. So this one isn't quite gourmand. It gets close because of those jammy, fruity notes mixed in with the licorice and the tonka. But because of the amber and the violet and the ink and the woody notes, it totally balances that out. So it's not like the drier violet woody ink side is competing with the jammy fruity compote side by any means. There's no competition. They have both put down their white flags and just said, can't we all just get along? And then have decided to party together. And it's a beautiful party. Now with Lolita, I find it to be much more linear than this one. Now this one doesn't have huge ups and downs, but it does have enough to where when you first spray it, it's drier, the violet, the woods, the ink. And then as it gets sweeter, it gets juicier and moister, but it still remains completely unisex. And the deep dry down is probably my favorite part of this. And it's always one of those that surprises me. It's not a hide and seeker, but it likes to play tricks, this perfume. Because just when you think you got it figured out, that it's just as I described. It starts off dry, violet, woody, ink. And then the fruitiness comes in and the juiciness. But not too much. And you think, okay, I got this. I know what's happening here. And then at the deep dry down, it just goes, surprise! We got more to go here. Don't give up on me now. I got more shit to show you. And then the amber and the sandalwood and a little bit of floral comes in there. I wouldn't pick out rose, but it just adds a little more dimension and just a hint more sweetness. But again, it never gets very sweet. Oh. Yes, I love this one. And this Purple Heart. Are you kidding? How cool is that? This whole line is just stunning. But again, I will say they need to make a little red rubber thing that goes around this part here that attaches to the top part. Make it look like a vein so it stays with the whole theme. But so you don't lose this little tiny cap. That makes me insane. And then throw in the stand. We shouldn't have to pay $10 for the stand when we're paying $185 for the perfume. Just saying. That would be the right thing to do. Anywho, love it. Incredible house. I have all but one of them, all but Blackheart, and I will be getting Blackheart. I'll be doing a house review too, because there's at least one more I want to do an individual review of on Map of the Heart, but then the rest I just needed in my collection. And I haven't worked with them as much. I've been working with the samples set that I have on most of them, but there's a couple like Pink Heart, I didn't work with it a whole lot. And Blackheart I haven't worked with, but I found Pink Heart for a really good price, so I went ahead and got it. It's an incredible house. The sample set you can order, and it's in Australia, and it gets here like within a week. It gets here. It's insane. They're incredible. It's a wonderful house. Anyway, love it. That's Purple Heart from Map of the Hearts. All right, everybody, don't forget to use your own nose and take care of yourself. And I'll see you soon. Peace. Dog's eating. You can tell. Peace.